Having twins. When I found out that I was pregnant with twins, I was alone. My husband was at work, and I just went to the ultrasound appointment because it was a routine ultrasound appointment to confirm the EDC. So to tell you that I freaked out was an understatement. I called my husband, and he said, "Why are you crying?" And I said, "There's 2 of them." And he said, "Okay, like nothing. We'll get through it." He acted like it was no big deal. Maybe it was for my benefit, but there were a million things going through my head. I was worried about caring for them full term. I was worried about delivering them at healthy weight and that their lungs were matured. I had a slew of complications during my pregnancy and was on bed rest for 8 out of the 10 months. It was a very trying time in my life. But as it turned out, that was the hardest part for me. Getting them through the pregnancy and delivery was easy compared to what comes next. Once they were here, all my other fears were gone, and it was amazing how my body adjusted to no sleep and holding 2 babies at once. The best thing my gynecologist told me was to take lots of pictures, because the first year you will not remember, and that's exactly what happened. The sense of calm in my life changed when they became mobile. When they were not mobile, they were easy. But once they started crawling and walking, that's when it got hard. My Jack was the first one to start crawling and walking, but Olivia was right behind him. They always were kicking and trying to move when they couldn't walk or crawl, but once they started, they were off. Jack is an active boy, and Olivia follows. They are both 3. One of the things that has helped me tremendously is routine. If I didn't have them on this same feeding schedule, bedtime schedule, bath schedule, it would be 10 times harder. Once I became pregnant with twins, it is amazing how many people came out of my life that actually had experience with twins. There were so many supportive people and websites that I could go to, and for that I was grateful. When they turned 2, they had been to Disneyland, Hawaii, Florida. They were really good at being in a stroller and staying in line during amusement park visits. But the problem was what they were not good at was when they were outside of the stroller. They went in opposite directions. One would go here, one would go there. And if not for me and my husband being there at the same time, then I would be torn in 2 different directions. And my oldest daughter would be stuck there thinking, which way do I go? So it was pretty hard when at amusement parks when we were had all 3 of them together. It was after our Florida trip that I decided to learn some ways the experts have come up with to control them, but keep them individualized at the same time. I had to remember that children learn and go through milestones at their own pace. When Jack started walking, I assumed Olivia would follow, but it took her a while. She was bigger when she was born, but is smaller and petite now. Jack is a linebacker. We called him Moose when he was growing because he got so big. I tried not to compare their milestones with my other kids or even with each other, but that was difficult. Olivia started showing signs of speech impairment, and it was to the point where I would ask Jack what she needs, and he would tell me. He started talking for her, and she let him. That is when we got her evaluated for speech therapy. Her individualization would not come if her communication had to come through her brother. What if he didn't understand her? So she started speech and had made remarkable progress. Even now at 3, I have to remind myself not to compare. Jack plays soccer and Olivia dances. Does Olivia get it better than Jack? Are there coordination in the correct ranges? It is almost impossible to compare them without driving myself crazy. They are 2 different people with different likes and dislikes, even though they shared a womb. My twins are boy-girl twins, but they are the most competitive people I know. The biggest fight in my house right now is who is mommy, daddy, sissy's best friend. They don't grasp the concept that I can be best friends with both of them. Some experts state that the favoritism towards one or the other twins is common, but until I read that, I didn't think it was possible. However, I am guilty. My favorite is usually based on what mood they are in. The favorite would be the one sitting quietly by my side watching a TV show, and the other is screaming his or her head off. My Jack is a love bug. He is all about snuggles and hugs. Sometimes he just sits with me and plays with my hair. Olivia clings to me. She doesn't necessarily cuddle, but just clings. My oldest is 20, and I remember when hanging out with his friends was a lot cooler than hanging out with me. That day will come for Jack as well, so I'm getting all snuggles I can for him. For my girls, I think they will be the type of tweens to crawl into bed and talk about their day with me. I hope I'm not wrong. Managing their behavior is an individual task. One twin might respond if you raise your voice to him, but the other shrinks away. Jack is very sensitive when it comes to discipline. He hates to disappoint us and is quick to say sorry. Olivia only cares when I say no to her. She doesn't get as nearly upset if she does something wrong. This difference in behaviors and personalities causes me to have a difference in my approach of how I deal with their behavior. In fact, it is like that with all my kids. Each kid will react differently to discipline and learn good from bad in their own way. I try to praise them with good deeds or for them helping me with something, but I also try to commend them on saying sorry and sharing toys with others. Although I don't intentionally dress them alike, sometimes they match. I think that is okay, as long as their personalities and individuality shines through. They are just starting to tell me what clothes they want and don't, and I will listen and then let them express themselves through their clothes. Having multiples is a blessing, but a lot of work. I will continue to learn from them and learn with them on this journey they are on. Starting school is on my mind already. Experts say to put them in separate classes, but I'm not sure about that. Separate classes are meant to give them their own friends, teachers, and to grow their likes and dislikes. However, they have never been apart. How is that going to affect them? Time to do some research. I love my babies, and I hope I am doing right by them so they can grow to be upstanding citizens who love each other.
That's it. Yay.